The Warriors were in the Big Easy, and that was too easy. Holy Moses! Career night for Moses Moody. We're talking about it on today's Locked On Dubs.
You are Locked On Warriors, your daily Golden State Warriors podcast.
What are they going to say now?
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's the good word, everyone? Welcome to the Locked On Warriors. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now the #1 sports podcast network out there. We come at you Monday through Friday. You can check out the show on YouTube and wherever you get your audio podcasts. We have a rotating cast of guests, I should say. My name's Charlie Walter, the host of the show every single day. Matt Kolsky joins me quite a bit. We both worked at 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area. I did TV for CBS News Bay Area. Kolsky also worked at KNBR. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. Now's a great time to get in on the action because if you create an account and you use code LOCKEDONNBA, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Game Time makes tickets easy, so go ahead and check them out. Final score, Warriors 124, the New Orleans Pelicans 106. We wanted to say this was like a get-right game, but everything's been going right the last few days. But let's put it this way. Moses Moody had 7 3-pointers in the first quarter. Now, he finished with a modest 8, a career-high 32 points in 33 minutes on 10 of 16 shooting, had 4 rebounds as well. Didn't have an assist, but when you're scoring 32, who cares? I would say the biggest takeaway, aside from how good Moses was, Brandon Pajimski's play, Buddy Hield shooting late, which we'll get into on today's program. The biggest thing is you got a little bit of rest for Curry and Draymond. 28 minutes for Curry, 25 minutes for Draymond. Steph was 2 of 11, 1 of 6 from 3. He didn't hit a shot in the first half. You didn't need him to hit a shot, and you still coasted to a victory in New Orleans. Was this a trap game? It's hard to be trapped by a team like New Orleans, but when you lose to a team like the Pacers that you lost to with no one a couple weeks ago, a win's a win and a comfy win at that. What's up, Kolsky?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They're almost not good enough to be a trap game, except that you've lost games in similar situations. I mean, Milwaukee without Giannis is not a ton better than this New Orleans team. So, yeah, in that respect, it was definitely a trap game. And the Warriors had a couple of trap moments, I would say. You know, there were a few times in the game where the Pelicans threatened to make a game out of it, but ultimately the Warriors responded each time, and you get, it's 18 in the end. It could have been 25. You know, the exact point total is neither here nor there, but it was a chance for guys not named Steph Curry to get their shot going right, which is a good thing, especially because it doesn't necessarily get easier yet. Easier stretches are coming, but not quite yet.
Yeah, the Orlando Magic are up next. We will tease that game in just a little bit. But, hey, it's now 3 straight wins for Golden State. They sweep the series in San Antonio, which was just so big after the deflating loss that was Oklahoma City and really just the bad basketball that they had played over that road trip, that Midwest road trip that was not good whatsoever. And they've gotten back to it, man. They didn't need Steph in today's game. And, look, it's not a talking point. After what he did in San Antonio, we're not worried about Steph Curry. So the fact that he struggled shooting today, 2 of 11, this is a pick your spots team, man. We've been saying it. Like last year, it was the wait in the weeds, ready to pounce team, aka the squad that's like, we have assets with Wiggins and Kuminga and draft picks to where if we're just hovering around 500, you can make that splash and be in contention. And it proved to be right. They took down the 2 seed. This year's motto is truly pick your spots. Is that a fair thing to say with this year's team?
To an extent, it's going to have to be. Yeah. I mean, we've seen that they're not going to be fully healthy all year. And that's both from little nagging injury things and also just from resting guys to make sure they're healthy when it matters. So tonight was a night where you said a little rest for Steph, and it's not just the fact that he played whatever it was, 28 minutes, I think you said. It's when he's on the floor tonight, all he had to do was be a decoy. just kind of hang around, attract attention, and let everybody else take care of the rest, And it is important that they can get games like they did tonight out of the Moodys and Pajimskis of the world so that Steph can do that here and there. Because if you're asking him to be all world every night, it's just too much to expect. That not because there's anything wrong with Steph Curry, just because that's too much to expect of anyone in his situation. So this is a really good win. And yes, it's against arguably the worst team in the league, but you got to get those wins, maybe more importantly than any. And if you can do it without significant contributions from Steph, so much the better.
And this was a Pelicans team, obviously, that's not at full strength. Zion Williamson did not play. Kevon Looney did not play. Jordan Poole did not play.
They're at no strength, Chuck.
It's decimated, but they do have, Trey Murphy, who may be an interesting name for the Warriors at the deadline, potentially. They have the youngster Derek Queen. They have forever Warriors, Sadiq Bey, that didn't only get a cup of coffee with the Warriors. He was involved in that Wiseman trade and never even came to the Bay Area for a half second. It was Gary Payton that came instead. But who else? They got Jeremiah Fears, man. He's a nice young player. So yeah. they have a few decent pieces there, but this is one that was never even close. The Warriors were able to cruise, and they need to get to the point, this Golden State, where a team that has Jimmy Butler, who went, by the way, 18-10 tonight with 3 steals, and then Moses Moody, who goes for 32, and then Will Richard, and then Buddy Hield and Brandon Pajimski, and Kuminga didn't play tonight, but if he were to play, like, that team needs to beat the Wizards, the Pacers, the Pelicans, the Mavericks, the Suns, the Jazz. If you can beat those teams with this type of team and give Steph a little rest on the legs, we're cooking, man. We're in a good spot.
Yep. And if you can consistently beat those teams, then, something like 500 against the best teams gets you in a pretty good spot. So, listen, that's all this is about to me. And you did your job. It was a professional win driven by young players. And every time they get a chance to do that, it's going to benefit them in the long term.
Man, it was there was just so much hype for that game on Friday. Like, that was a championship level game. It was NBA Cup. It was Wemby Steph. It was iconic. It was one of the better Warriors games I'd seen in the last few years, personally. And this game was just, you could have taken a nap in between quarters,
Yeah.
Like, who gives a damn? Just don't lose it. That's what this game was. Just don't lose it.
Honestly, the Warriors practically took a nap for the second and third quarters, but they did enough in the first and fourth to win it handily. So, yeah, good stuff.
Let's get to the man who did the most work, Moses Moody, and the performance that he had today, and then also Pajimski and Buddy Hield. The importance of those guys knocking down some shots straight ahead on Locked On Warriors.
Destroy Jimmy and Domino's. I know Jimmy drinks great wine.
Jimmy does drink great wine. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. Now's a great time to get in with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $20 off your first purchase. Basketball season's here. Nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games, but tickets can be a total headache. You got surprise fees, prices that jump right before checkout. You could get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your favorite team. That's where Game Time comes in, the app that gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NBA tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. When you use Game Time, the best part about it is even when like the box office is sold out of tickets on site, you just pop on Game Time. You find out that there's a few sections left that has tickets. They get cheaper, closer, and you just get it right then and there. You scan the thing on your phone. It's easy. They got zone deals, and you can even find NBA tickets for under $25. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Code LOCKEDONNBA, $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Today's episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day. locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood Strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. It's back to the show.
Who can stop Steph Curry?
Hopefully we'll never find out.
All right, man. A career best night for Moses Moody. Honestly, I sent out a tweet, and now's a good time to follow me on all forms of social media at CWalter22 on Instagram, one of my favorite apps, at It's Charlie Walter on TikTok, probably my favorite app to deliver content aside from YouTube and audio podcasts for the show. And then Twitter, I think it's Charlie Walter TV still from my TV days. And I don't tweet a ton, but I tweeted tonight and said, or X'd tonight, and said that I said, Moses, it's early, very, very early, but Moses Moody is on pace to an NBA record for 3-pointers hit. 7 in the first quarter. You don't see that often.
Are you with the chat? Is it a sabotage by Kerr?
He finished with a measly 8, man. But let's talk about his performance today. He had the quick trigger, was getting behind screens, and was using, the screens that Draymond and company set for him to just get pretty clean looks. And whether it was movement, whether it was standstill, off the bounce, he was hitting everything, man. Your thoughts on his performance?
He was great. I've been saying it since he got here. That 3-point shot is pure. It looks right. It goes in when he's open consistently, other than last year. I couldn't figure it out until we found out he had a hand injury. So the fact that he is shooting so well from 3 this year is not a huge surprise to me. It's just a matter of opportunity, and I'm glad he's doing it. And I think I think it is fair to say at this point that we can trust Moses Moody as a 3-point shooter and sort of auxiliary scorer for this team. He's going to have a bad game every now and then. But for me anyway, we've reached the point when something like Friday happens where he's, 2 for 8 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, doesn't play that well. I say, you know what? He had a bad game, but I still expect him to shoot it next time out, because that's what he's basically done all season long. And honestly, most of his career. So I am thrilled for Moses. Look, I've defended Jonathan Kuminga a lot. Obviously, we've talked about that a lot on this podcast. And I don't know that we have talked enough about Moses Moody, because whatever you say about Kuminga, it's been a kind of a weird relationship on both sides, and there's been a lot of ups and downs. And by any measure, Moses Moody has handled his career in the most professional and probably the best possible way. He has allowed the Warriors to slow play him. And I think he's now reached a point where he is a trusted, solid, consistent rotational member, if not starter, of a team that expects to compete. So good for Moses. And this was obviously a great night. Career high is always a great night.
Steve Kerr finds a starting lineup that works, and he sticks with it. Last year, it was the lineup that featured Pajimski, Butler, Green, Curry, and Moody. And Pajimski's coming off the bench now. Came off the bench for 19 points tonight. The starter's Will Richard. I don't know if he's going to stick with it all season. I don't know if he goes back to the bigger lineup when Kuminga returns. But if it's not broken, don't fix it. And Will Richard, man, 4 of 9 again, 7 rebounds. He can play at this level. Is he a superstar? By no means. But he's a starter on a team that's now 9-6. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to remain the starter or not. I'm with you. It's sort of a toss-up, I would say. I think he's been fine as a starter. I think, obviously, overall, given where he was drafted, he's been an unbelievable pickup for the Warriors. And he's kind of got that pods thing where he might not shoot it so well. He's 1 for 5 from 3 tonight. He's a rookie, for goodness sakes, right? Like, he's going to make some mistakes here and there. But I am hard-pressed to think of a stretch of playing time that Will Richards has had this year where he didn't do helpful stuff for the team. He's a great defender. He's smart. He generally does not take bad shots. He rebounds well. he's a active participant in the motion offense, moving the ball. Like he's just, we're gonna say it so many times this year. He's just Steve Kerr's dream, man, and he's been really, really good.
I remember in the Dallas series, Western Conference Finals. It's crazy to think that Western Conference Finals in 22 had a team featuring Jalen Brunson, Kristaps Porzingis, and Luka Doncic, and now the Dallas Mavericks are Klay Thompson. You know, like who else is running out there for the Cooper Flag, Klay Thompson, a bunch of hurt dudes.
Yeah, I mean they're Cooper Flag. Let's not kid ourselves. Everything else is window dressing.
No doubt about it. But I remember in that series, Steve Kerr said on one of his post-game shows, because Moody got like 25 minutes of run in one of the games. I forget who was in foul trouble, maybe Poole or Poole wasn't playing or whatever it was. Moses Moody played a ton of minutes, and Steve Kerr was like, I just trust this guy. Like, he's not going to F it up for us. And I feel like it's the same way with Will Richard. Like, he's not going to play hero ball. He's not going to do anything too stupid. Like, maybe out of position on defense. He's a rookie. He may miss some shots. He's not a sharpshooter by any means, but he shot it a lot better than I thought he would shoot it to start this season. I think he just knows how to play ball. And honestly, it kind of shocks me that he didn't get more minutes tonight with just 22, considering the fact that it felt like you were cruising all night. This is a perfect game to give him 25 plus, but he seems to be living kind of in that number right now. And
I think he's kind of past that. I think Will Richard is past the point where you're looking to get him extra minutes. I think if it had been hotly contested in the fourth, he might have gotten up to 27. But honestly, I think that's where he's at. Like, he's a member of the main rotation. So when it's time to bring in the bench, Guy Santos is going to play, and Pat Spencer is going to play, and Trace is going to play. It's not going to be Will Richard more often than not. Buddy's going to play garbage minutes more than Will Richard right now, I think. And that's an incredible credit to what Will Richard has done in a very short time.
Let's talk Buddy. We'll get to Pajimski in the next block, but Buddy Hield goes for 11 points, 3 threes in today's game. I honestly have forgotten to some degree that Buddy Hield is on this team. I mean, you roll so deep, and you talk about the big hitters. It's, you know, in a game against San Antonio where Curry goes for 49, we're not spending, I don't even know if we mentioned the name Buddy Hield, to be honest with you, in that entire 2-game set against San Antonio. And he's one of those dudes that, like, you kind of forget about him for a bit, and then bam, he'll knock 7 threes down on your face, and he's the main talking point, and he's on our thumbnail on Locked On Warriors. Hasn't really had a chance to, not that he hasn't had a chance, he just hasn't, you know, had that big game aside from LA to start.
That was it.
How do you feel about his play tonight, and I guess the outlook on him knocking down some more shots?
The outlook with Buddy is always the same, and you just said it. Any given night, he might hit 7 or 10 threes. You just don't know. And the problem is, on the other nights, he's often driving everybody nuts. I mean, he missed another brutal defensive rotation tonight, even.
You know what's crazy, though? Finish. We were talking about the defensive rotations, and I'll tell you what's crazy.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, 4 of 8 tonight is probably his second or third best game of the season, you know, so maybe it doesn't bother you as much, but yeah, he does not do a lot to help when he's not hitting threes. But if he goes for 30 tomorrow or, you know, Tuesday and wins you a game, I don't know. The one thing I've been thinking about is what someone on the chat just said here. They can sign Seth Curry. I don't know why they haven't. It's a little weird, actually. The date, I think it was the 11th, was the date where they could officially re-sign Seth. And I wouldn't mind getting a look at Seth a little bit, because if he can be the flamethrower in reserve minutes that you hoped Buddy could be, then maybe we don't have to deal with Buddy being a goof on the nights when he's not shooting the ball, you know? I don't know. To me, it's a little, I'm surprised. They should have been able to sign Seth. They said they were going to sign him, and they just haven't. I don't really know what's going on there.
One thing I'll say is you kind of replace Klay Thompson with Buddy Hield to a degree, and obviously prime Klay, prime Buddy, there's no comparison. Now Buddy is, I think he got his numbers retired, his number up in the rafters at Oklahoma, and obviously he's a star collegiate player. He's hit just about as many threes as anyone not named Steph Curry in the NBA, and he's going to climb up that list and be way up there. Like, he's had a good career overall. But in terms of what the Mavericks are paying Clay to play for them and what the Warriors are paying Buddy to play for them, take away nostalgia, take away what happened in the past. Like, the Warriors probably made a right decision to move on and go with Buddy based on what we've seen. You're muted.
I understand why people make the connection, but I think it's just wrong-minded to look at Buddy Hield as a Klay Thompson replacement in any way, because he's not. And separately from that, if there were any questionable decisions on Klay, it's whether they should have waited as long as they did. And I love Klay. No one is a bigger Klay guy than me. But if we're talking about the hard business of sports, Klay was not an asset in his final season with the Warriors, and that's why he didn't get brought back.
Someone said in the chat, it's the Buddy Hield cycle. Come on, guys, we're all used to this now, and this is the Buddy Hield cycle. Let me get this this comment down so you can see it. It's 4 of 20, it's 13 of 18, it's 3 of 7, 0 of 3, 2 of 3. Then it's back to, next thing you know, you're at 4 of 20 over a 5-game stretch, and then he goes 13 of 18. But this year, the Buddy Hield experience has been more like 4 of 20, 5 of 20, 6 of 15, and then 4 of 20. Like, I don't think he's really popped off to where we've had the full experience. It's mainly just been pedestrian Buddy. So to knock down 3 tonight, it's a welcome sign, to say.
Yeah, and again, maybe that's all it takes is a couple of garbage time threes tonight to get him going, and maybe we get one of the 13 for 20 stretches over the next 3 games or whatever it is, or in the next game alone if Buddy has his way. Yeah. So I think of Seth Curry as kind of a more consistent version of that, which is why I wouldn't mind seeing him back on the roster getting a shot. But the Buddy experience is the Buddy experience, and it's been a little down on the year, but I think that usually means there's a good time coming later in the year.
When we return, Brandon Pajimski, and then we'll tee up the Orlando Magic on Tuesday.
And most importantly, he a dog.
We need more dogs.
Today's episode is brought to you by America's #1 sportsbook, that is FanDuel. The NBA's here. There's no better way to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the association. Even if you missed the start of the game or if you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game more exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Today's episode is also brought to you by our favorite jeanswear. That is Doer. Shop Doer in San Francisco. Mention our code. Let's tell you a little bit about Doer and why you should get in with them. It's comfortable stuff. I was actually wearing a long sleeve, like button-down shirt yesterday that they provided, 3-button shirt. And I was like, this is jeanswear? Like, they got everything. Specifically, jeanswear. Obviously, it's comfortable. Their Doer jeans have 5 times the stretch of traditional denim. I like the Performance Denim Slim Straight. That's my favorite. You can wear it down to Fort Funston. You can wear it to Baker Beach. You can wear it to Linda Mar. You can wear it to, I'm naming places all in kind of the same spot. You can wear it to Napa. You can wear it to San Jose. You can all over the Bay and beyond. You can wear these jeans because they have Cool Max. It regulates your temperature. It'll make sure you're comfortable regardless of the climate that you're in. And you can check them out in store in San Francisco. It's 567 Hayes Street in Hayes Valley. Go pick up a pair from yourself. Tell them we sent you. It's an amazing holiday gift. We have a promo code. It's Locked On SF. You can use it in store to get 15% off your first order. You can check them out online and use it. shopdoer.com/LockedOnSF for 15% off. That's shopdoer, DUER.com/LockedOnSF.
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships.
All right, let's get into Brandon Pajimski's play. Haven't talked a ton about him. He comes off the bench, plays 26 minutes. His minutes have appeared to have dwindled a bit as Will Richard has kind of picked up some of those. Moses Moody obviously was hurt to start the year. He's picked up some of those minutes. And then just having Al Horford go for 20 and Buddy go for 20 and Peyton go for 12, you run out of minutes at some point. But Pajimski had a great game. 19 points, 8 of 13, 3 of 7 from deep, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, no turnovers. Look, he's a polarizing figure on this show to our chat, but there's nothing to complain about with Pajimski's play tonight.
No, and it's so weird to me that he's become a polarizing figure.
It's because they say he's Kerr's nephew, and there's just I don't know.
Yeah, but you
man.
know what it is, man? It's honestly, I really think it is down to nothing more than, and to be fair, this is partially his fault, the hype. Like, if we were talking about Pods as, what was he, the middle of the first round pick?
I think it's the way he plays, man. Sometimes in slow motion, he takes all these charges. He's getting flying around all over the place.
Well, that's how you got to play.
He's begging foul. He's begging for fouls. He's got the big curly. Like, I think that has a lot to do with it.
When you're not an elite NBA athlete, that's how you have to play. That's
No
how you
doubt.
stay in the league. And one thing about Pods has been pretty consistent generally, other than last year at the beginning of the season when he was just disgusting shooting the ball, just couldn't hit the, broadside of a barn. He's been pretty consistent. He's a decent shooter, a little bit streaky. He's capable of the odd scoring game, but mostly the way he helps you is rebounding, especially for a guard. He's a very, very good rebounder. He takes charges. He makes good passes. He makes little hustle plays. Like, that's who he is. He's not anybody who's been expecting Pods to be a 20-point-a-night scorer. I think you're wrong, not Pods. So I don't know, man. This is a good game for him. The more good games he has, the better. It is frustrating when they need him and he can't score the ball. But I just don't know that he has the talent to ever be a consistent high-level NBA scorer. And as far as his defense, again, he wins on defense with charges and intelligence. He is not a good enough athlete to be an elite defender of the quick guards in the NBA. So he's doing his best out there. I think the bench is the right place for him. I think Will Richard, is he a better player? I don't know, but he's definitely a better defender. And alongside Steph and Jimmy and Draymond, that matters. So I think Pods is where he belongs, one of the first guys off the bench. And if he plays like he did tonight, that's a heck of a bench player, even if he's scoring 10 points instead of 19.
There hasn't been a ton of talk about this, the whole, Seth Curry thing. Jay for Watch says, you think they're waiting for the road trip to end before signing Seth Curry?
It's a reasonable thought.
Don't know exactly what's behind that right now, but obviously it'll get brought up, I'm sure, at some point. Yeah, it'll be a talking point in the next few days to where we don't really have to worry about it right now, but they'd love to give him some run. But we got Melton coming back too. Kuminga's coming back here in the next few games, you would have to imagine. So there's some time. Next up, the Orlando Magic on Tuesday. They took the Rockets to overtime, and the Rockets are off to a great start. Durant, if you thought he was going to his game was going to diminish because he's an old man, not at all. He had 35 tonight. Franz Wagner went for 29. I know he's been a name that's been associated with the Warriors for a long time because so many people say, how did you not take Franz when you could have? That's a talk for another day, but he had 29 points. Him and Paolo, kind of the two-headed snake. Paolo did not play in that game tonight. Couple names to watch out for. Desmond Bane is now on the team. One of the better shooters in the NBA. Got off to a horrific start shooting for them, but he's picked it up as of late. Hit a game winner a few games ago. He had 26. Tristan da Silva is a name that I mentioned to start the season as kind of a breakout player. Has he broken out? 11.5 points per game. But he's someone that can get really hot and be a flamethrower. He's at 41% from three on the season. He's a big body at 6'8". That's someone that can gives you a matchup problem. And then really the recipe to beat in Orlando is frankly, aside from Bane, let them shoot. And Da Silva, let them shoot. Because Wendell Carter, he's not knocking down too many shots. Anthony Black, Yikes. Bird box. Cover your eyes. He's not hitting many threes. And then aside from that, like Jet Howard, no, he's not hitting threes. Paolo, he's not hitting threes. So not a good shooting team. But again, watch out for their shooters in general, Bain and De Silva, because those two can cause some matchup problems, I think.
Yeah, like you said, Paolo's out, which is nice. No one on the Warriors.
How many
side
games has he
is
been out
gonna
for?
Complain not long. He just got hurt.
Yeah.
I can't. I should know these sorts of things, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
It's the last few games for sure.
Yeah.
And they've been hot. They got off to a really bad start, and before tonight, they had won 3 straight games.
Yeah,
so.
Bain had a game winner, I believe, a couple of nights ago. He's starting to heat up, which they absolutely need. It sounds like, yeah, this is just 2 games that Banchero has missed. According to CBS Sports, he's going to be evaluated daily, but his timetable is murky at best. So we'll see.
I love J4 Watch coming in saying, come on, Chuck, you know that the non-shooter will all of a sudden hit their threes versus the Warriors. I promise you, the Magic have some bricklayers on that team. Like Anthony Black, hold on. I need Anthony Black to be good. We got the rookie patch. I'm trying to sell this thing on eBay. It's been auctioning for like 2 weeks at 99 cents. Who wants Anthony Black? Game worn. Come on.
If you just need to clear your storage space, I'll take it for free.
Yeah, I'll run it your way, man. I'll run it your way. Locked On Warriors. So we got the Magic coming up. We'll give you the outlook over the next few games for the Dubs. And frankly, this 3-game stretch, specifically just the 2 wins over San Antonio, it changed everything.
Yep.
I mean, this had the chance to be just a nasty road trip that puts you in a bad spot. And 9-6 with Orlando, Miami, Portland coming up. And Orlando and Miami, the last 2 on this road trip before you get a long time at home. You get Portland at home. You get Utah at home. You get Houston on prime time at home. You get New Orleans. You'd love to see New Orleans come to town again. And then not again, for the first time. And then you got Oklahoma City, which is going to be a huge game to start December on one of those rare 8 p.m. NBC Peacock games, and then Philly,
late night action,
Cleveland, and Chicago. You got some tough teams coming up. The good news is we're going to get to the holidays, and you're going to be feasting on. It's not going to be the what do we call it? The fruitcake. No, fruitcake sucks. We're not feasting on fruitcake this year, Kolsky. It's going to be cupcakes, man. It's Phoenix twice. It's Dallas. It's Toronto. It's Brooklyn. It's Charlotte. It's Utah. The Clippers are bad. It's at LA. Sacramento.
It is 18. It is an 18 game stretch where you have only 5 games on the road. So 13 home games, 5 road games over the course of more than a month. And in that time, you play the Charlotte Hornets twice. You play the Dallas Mavericks. You play the Brooklyn Nets. You play the Kings. You play the Raptors twice. Like, that's when you eat. From December 18th to January 20th, the Warriors it's an all-you-can-eat buffet of bad teams and home games. Like, there's one Thunder game in there. The Clippers stink right now. Hopefully they still do when you see them in January. Like, that's the time. And this has been a really rough start. When they finish this road trip at Miami, that'll be 17 games on the season and 5 home games. So they deserve it. Yeah, they deserve a break.
Someone popped in the comments to correct us and said Toronto has actually been solid. They have been. They're 8-5, and they have some good players. I did not know how it was going to all mesh together, but RJ's had a great season. Scotty Barnes has had a great year. They haven't
still a team you should beat.
Last year, you had to rely on like Grady Dick. He's now getting like 10 minutes per game. They got some dudes, and then you got Pirtle, who's having a pretty good year down low. But still, like you said, team you should beat. Yes. Don't let Brandon Ingram go for 30. Don't let Barnes go for 30. You can beat that team despite them being 8-5 on the season. Kolsky, good stuff. Locked On Warriors, final score. Doesn't matter what the final score is. The Golden State Warriors get the win in New Orleans. That's all you care about. But when you win by 18, That's just the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake. And also when you get a career high from Moses Moody, 32 points and 8 3-pointers, 7 in the first quarter, you will take it. I'm going to have a preview tomorrow, aka Monday, with Kenny Morales. He was a longtime sports anchor in Tampa Bay. He's no longer in the TV game, but he's a diehard Magic guy, and he's good on the air. So he's going to be a good guy to talk to, all things Magic. So we'll get a good Magic preview, and then we'll see you on Tuesday night, Kolsky. Sound good?
Excellent.
Excelente. Locked On Warriors, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on your way out. Peace.
3 in a row. They're going streaking.
Oh, baby.